How's it going, everybody? This is Nick here with Harper's Huddle. Hope everyone's enjoying their quarantine. I know it's a little rough these last 2 weeks, but I'm hearing those stimulus checks are dropping today, so hopefully that can make your day up. So what I'm going over is I have a 3-round NFL mock draft since Roger Goodell has officially announced that the draft is going to take place. I went ahead and put my effort like I usually do on my downtime. I don't record it, but on my own downtime, I'll make my own draft board. So since it got confirmed, I put my effort into it then, and I'm going to go for the first 3 rounds. I'm going to do it in 3 separate videos, so today will be the first round, and then because I'm off today and I'm on dad duty, as you can tell, I'll start working on the second round and the third round, and hopefully I'll have all 3 posted today. So keep an eye out for that. So let's go ahead and get started. So little shakeup, I think, in the first overall pick. A lot of people, Bengals taking Joe Burrow. Recently, Joe Burrow came out and said that he wants to play for a winner, a team that cares. And Carson Palmer, actually, his brother, actually, I want to say it was during Super Bowl weekend, said that Carson Palmer was threatening to retire or to be traded because the Bengals' lack of aggressiveness in free agency and wanting to be winners and things like that. So the Dolphins have 3 first-round picks this year. I did this as a little mock-up. I don't know what it could be if the trade were to go through. But what I went ahead and did is say, okay, well, the Dolphins will trade 2 first-round picks, the 5th overall and the 18th overall, and a 3rd round pick, which is the 70th overall pick. So the Dolphins will get the number 1 overall pick for 2 first and a 3rd round pick, and the Dolphins will take Joe Burrow. So that's my number 1 pick. Number 2, Redskins taking Chase Young. It's a no-brainer. He is the first player on everyone's draft board as far as talent goes. The Lions will take Jeff Okudah. Jeff Okudah is a cornerback for OSU. Darius Slade trade is what impacts this overall. They're going to need cornerback help regardless, no matter what. I might butcher this name here, but the Giants will take Tristan Wirfs. He's an offensive tackle. The top offensive tackle is what the NFL prospects are saying. He is I think he's a senior. He started his freshman year in Iowa. Iowa seems to produce a lot of offensive linemen, especially in the Big Ten. So since they drafted a running back and a quarterback in the first round, the Giants need to protect them. So that's why I'm going with the Giants. Very quickly, I don't edit these videos. I just do it off the cuff. I think better content comes that way rather than things being forced. So if I make a slip up, no big deal. You're going to see that. She cheers me on. She's my little cheerleader. So I apologize for any misspoken words or names. So the Bengals at 5th, this is the pick they got for trading with Joe Burrow. They are going to take Isaiah Simmons, very versatile linebacker and pass rusher. That's going to help their defense. They still need a lot more help on defense, but the best player available, and again, gaining another first-round pick in this draft, that they can help a lot, and that we'll see here in the later round. So the Chargers, they'll take Tua. That's going to be their quarterback of the future. They're going to go with Tyrod this year, it seems, so they can work Tua in. They can address, his injury and give him some rest, things like that. Panthers will take Javon Kinlaw. He is a defensive lineman from South Carolina. They really need help on the defensive line. If you look at their depth chart currently, between their defensive tackle and defensive lineman, they only have 4 currently on the depth chart. Again, on the defensive line and the defensive tackle position, there's only 4 players on their depth chart overall, and they really need some help there. The Cardinals, they'll take Jedrick Willis. He is the offensive tackle from Alabama. They drafted Murray first overall last year. They're going to have to protect him, especially with getting DeAndre Hopkins, which is a big bolster to their wide receiver corps. Murray needs a little bit of time to throw in the pocket. Jaguars, they'll take Derek Brown. He is a defensive lineman from Auburn. Again, the Jaguars, they got to rebuild that whole entire defense. Trainee, right now there's rumors that Njoku their defensive lineman. He's looking to be traded. They just traded Calais Campbell, and also too they traded their corner they had to the Rams. I can't think of his name. Oh, Ramsey, Jalen Ramsey. So Jaguars will take Derek Brown. The Browns are going to take Andrew Thomas, offensive tackle from Georgia. Again, Baker needs time in the pocket. They really got to address that offensive line. They hired Coughlin. I think that's his name. He was for the Titans. He played for Washington University. They they signed him in the free agent, so that helped. But bolstering up a little bit more, getting Andrew Thomas. Jets, they take C.J. Henderson. Right there, they're just taking the best player available at that time. They really need corner help, especially with now Stephon Diggs is now playing in Buffalo. They're going to need all the help they can, and they're filling a hole there. The Raiders, they'll take Mickey Becton. He's offensive tackle from Louisville. They invested in Josh Jacobs. That seems to be their guy. John Gruden likes to run first. So they're going to have to protect that asset. And I think getting this guy has a lot of big size, very athletic. I think he's like 6'6", 6'5", 350. That's going to really bolster up their offensive line. 49ers, they'll take Jerry Jeudy. They lost Emmanuel Sanders in the offseason to the Saints. So they're going to need help there at wide receiver alongside Deebo Samuel. So Jerry Jeudy will be the pick there. The Bucks, they will take Trevon Diggs, the cornerback for Alabama. Bucks have always need secondary help. That seems to always be their struggle. It seems that when they do drafts in the first round, they usually only do the defensive line or the linebacker. They never really address their secondary help. Also, too, fun fact, that is actually Stephon Diggs' brother, which I thought was pretty interesting. The Broncos, they will take C.D. Lamb. At a wide receiver from Oklahoma. Cortland Sutton is the only weapon they have as far as offense goes. Philip Lindsay took a step backwards last year, so they will take C.D. Lamb. The Falcons, this is a good one. They'll take A.J. Esperanza. He is the edge rusher out of Iowa. Vic Beasley, they let him walk in the offseason, so that's going to replace that hole there. Cowboys, they'll take Josh Jones, offensive tackle from the University of Houston, local product there. Travis Frederick retired a couple weeks ago, so they're going to need help on that O-line and fill that void. He was a Pro Bowl center for a couple years, so they're going to have to address that offensive line overall. Now, you're probably thinking, well, Nick, the Bengals, they do need a quarterback, and you're exactly right. And here's where they'll take him. The Bengals, at number 18 overall, Justin Herbert. That will be their quarterback. The future. You don't like that pick? You don't think that pick's funny? She disagrees with me. But I think the Bengals will take Justin Herbert here at this. Again, this is my opinion. I doubt that it will happen unless there's a really good offer the Bengals can't refuse. But in this case, for my mock draft personally, Justin Herbert goes to the Bengals. Raiders, again, dressing their defense. They ranked 24th. They didn't address their defense. They took an offensive tackle last pick. They ranked 24th in defense overall. So Patrick Queen, the LSU linebacker, that's going to help their defense overall. Playing in a very, the division with the Chiefs, highly potent offense. They're going to play them twice a year. So again, they ranked 24th in defense, and I think having Patrick Queen there, that's going to help them overall. Jaguars here again. Again, rebuilding their entire defense. They're going to take Xavier McKinney, the safety out of Alabama. Again, losing Jalen Ramsey, Calais Campbell. They just got to rebuild that whole entire defense. Eagles, all right, they're going to take T. Higgins, wide receiver out of Clemson. The Eagles, obviously we know that they converted a quarterback from the University of Houston to a wide receiver because they needed so much help. I believe Nelson Aguilar is gone or Ashland Jeffrey's gone. One of those two are gone. So they need a lot of help there at the wide receiver. In this pick there, I got them going with T. Higgins. All right. So the Vikings, Christian Fulton. He's the cornerback from LSU. The Vikings lost Xavier Woods in the offseason. They cut him. So they're going to need some help in the cornerback area to address that hole. So Vikings will take Christian Fulton. Patriots, of course, they have to address a quarterback situation and a wide receiver. Right now, I don't believe that Justin Love is a good prospect. A lot of people are high on him, and he might work out. Usually, quarterbacks at that low-end school level, besides Garoppolo and Joe Flacco coming from the University of Delaware, usually these small product quarterbacks, they don't really pan out well in the NFL. I think the Patriots can wait until the third or fourth round, look at Jacob Eason or Jake Fromm, just kind of either a West Coast offense kind of vibe, just dink and dunk like they normally do. Jake Fromm might be their guy. That's what he did at Georgia a lot. So the Patriots will take Henry Ruggs, wide receiver from Alabama. It's a small, fast, really good receiver. Usually Belichick likes those. So we're going to go with Henry Ruggs there. The Saints, they'll take Kenneth Murray, linebacker from Oklahoma, just to bulk up that defense. Offense is pretty much solid at this point. Right now, they just got to focus on their defense. So they'll take Kenneth Murray there. The Vikings, this is a good one here, the name-wise. Yetur Gross-Matos. He is an edge rusher from Penn State University. Everson Griffin is up on his contract, or he might retire. So they're going to need help alongside Danielle Hunter as far as pass rushing. So they'll get that need there. Now, the Dolphins here, they're going to benefit the most from that draft, not only taking Joe Burrow, but get a familiar face for him here. And they're going to take Justin Jefferson, wide receiver from LSU. It's going to be a target that Burrow already knows to help him out there. And they need some wide receiver help. So it's going to be a good pick there for the Dolphins to take Justin Jefferson. The Seahawks, they'll take Neville Gilmore. He is a defensive lineman from Oklahoma University. They haven't lost Javion Clowney yet. He just hasn't signed. I'm assuming that they're not going to be able to re-sign him. They're going to have that help for the defensive line. So the Seahawks will take Gilmore there. Now the Ravens, they're going to take Kalavion Jassian. He's an edge rusher from LSU. They were trying to get a trade from the Rams to get a pass rusher. I can't think of his name at the moment, but that trade got voided out. I can't remember the exact reason why, but the Ravens do need to address pass rushing ability, so they'll take Jassian there. Titans, they're going to take Ross Blacklock. I think the Titans were the shock of the year for everybody. Just bolstering that defense up again. That's what got them to where they were. They signed Tannehill to a long term, so they're just going to make sure they're going to focus more on their defensive side, especially with Vrabel being their coach. So they'll take Ross Blacklock, the defensive line from TCU. Packers, they need to address their wide receivers. They need weapons for Rodgers. Rodgers hasn't had weapons in the last 2 years, besides Devontae Adams. So they'll take Chase Claypool. He's 6'4" wide receiver out of Notre Dame. Big target there for Rodgers to get a hold of. So the 49ers, they're going to take Damian Arnett. He's a corner from Ohio State. Need help with Sherman getting old. The next corner in line that was supposed to be the next guy up, he was replaced by a undrafted rookie. That is Emmanuel Mosley from the University of Tennessee. So they're going to have to address that corner hole that they have there. Like I said, again, Sherman's getting old. And if, an undrafted rookie, which, doesn't mean any disrespect to Mosley, but Mosley ended up showing a lot in the playoffs and earned that second spot. So good for him. And the Chiefs, Super Bowl champs. So with this pick, they could go anywhere really with this pick. My brother is a Chiefs fan. He's strong that they're going to get a running back here in the first round. So I'll go ahead and make that pick for him here. DeAndre Swift, running back from Georgia. They're going to bulk up that run game. Georgia, obviously has a lot of tandem running backs, and they've performed really well last 3 years that the Georgia running backs, Todd Gurley, Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, those running backs have done really, really well in the NFL. So I think the Chiefs will take DeAndre Swift here. All right, so that wraps up the first round. Let me know in the comments below what you think, who your NFL team is, and who you'd like to draft. Again, I'll be working on the second and third round today. Hopefully we'll see that up later today. Again, this is Harper's Huddle, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.